Yes, yes, yes. So Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio, and I hope you can hear me okay. And I took some time out to make sure we're on the laptop today. Took some time out to make sure that I could get the link in. The link is in. By fair means or foul, I got it in. I got it in. It's there. Okay. Sitting here, I was hesitating to press the button. Button says go live now. I was hesitating. Why am I? I was hesitating because the more you think about something, sometimes the bigger the task appears to be. So I think sometimes it's just best to just have the topic in mind and go with it. I knew what I want to talk about. I know what I want to talk about. And I feel it's a pertinent question. It's a question on people's minds. It's a question on my mind. And it has to be asked. And the question is, why did AJ look so bad? There's been back and forth communications asking me that same question. Been going back and forth. Multiple people. Boxing fans and non-boxing fans alike. Everybody's got an opinion and everybody's happy to share their opinion. So here's where you do it. Right here on the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. So I press the button. How are we going to do it? We're going to do it tonight. And remember, I'm not here for a long time. We're just here for a good time. You know what I'm saying? So without much further ado, let's get into it. The question has been posed, and I will aim to answer the question. Okay. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Let's share this. On the laptop, it's looks kind of different system present. Okay. What is this? Glad to record this computer screen's audio. Do I want the audio recorded? Not this time. On open systems. Okay. Oh Lord, it's taking me into some system. I just say no. I just come out to that and just say no. I'll kill the audio on that. Audio killed. Let's see how it shows up on the screen. OMG. It's bigger than I expected. Click for more layouts or manage them from settings. Let me click for more layouts. Get that. Settings. Okay. Let's switch this up. No, yet. Let's try again. Hold on. What are we doing? How do you want this to look? Okay, how about this? Let's go again. How's that look? Not the best, not fantastic. Acceptable. Let's try a different one. Let's go again. Dang. Horrible. Horrible. Okay. Maybe we can roll with it. Maybe we can roll with it. Okay. Okay. Let's have a look. Looking to answer the question. Why did Joshua look so bad? Oh Lord. Bam. Okay. So Joshua, first and most obvious thing is that Joshua, for some inexplicable reason, had his hands down. Now, I have to ask the question, how the hell and why the hell? How the hell and why the hell would Joshua going up against one of his most destructive opponents, especially in the vein of form that he's in now? Talking about Dubois. How is it that Joshua going up against the likes of Dubois, formidable, stopping people? How is it that such a time that Anthony Joshua decides that the best technique he can employ is to have his hands down around his navel? How the hell is that even possible? How the hell would he even consider that is a good course of action? How the hell and why the hell? Makes absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever. But yet, that's exactly what he did. Damn it. Had his hands down around the navel. Made 0 sense against the formidable Dubois. Why? Bruce Gass, Boxing Jazzamore up in the building. Ace 1982. Yes, yes, yes. Up in the building. How is it and why is it? You know, after all these years, I find it very difficult to believe, very difficult to countenance that Anthony Joshua would quite simply forget the fundamentals. Yes, Ace. You remember back in the days? You remember back in the days of when we were training down at the gym, down at the school gym. You know, the boxing gloves was there, and the referee would lace up the gloves, put on the gloves, and never yet would I think to myself, oh, you know what? This guy is so easy that I'm just going to have my hands down around my navel. I don't care who it was. Yeah, you might have your hands low, but to me, low is around shoulder height. Low is around shoulder height. And I mean, it's above low. To me, low is above shoulder height. It's just above your shoulder and just below your chin. But to me, that's low. So how the hell are you going to come in with the hands down around the navel? To me, it's just to me, it's just crazy. No way is the Rafi. No way would you ever see the Rafi with his hands down around the navel. Know what I mean? No way. I thought you meant me and Ace. Yeah, I'm kind of the old line. He's the young line. Yeah. We're talking about Joshua Dubois. Okay. I don't care how old the lion is. You don't have your hands down around your navel. You just don't do it. So that poses the question to me. How the hell was it even permissible? How the hell could Joshua even think for a moment that he could do that versus Dubois? Let's push this thing on a little bit. Remember, folks, I'm not here for a long time. We're here for a good time to get the facts out, get the thing out. Okay, let's push on just a little bit more. Okay, so Joshua now is on the advance. Joshua now is on the advance, and you see where the hands are. You see where the hands are. Low, very low. He's progressing, he's advancing. So now Joshua is advancing on one of the most dangerous hitters in the division, in the heaviest division. The heaviest hitters in the heaviest hitting division. And yet his hands are low down. Now they're around the nipple height. Now they're around nipple height. What are you doing with your hands down around your nipple? It makes no sense. Okay, let us proceed. Okay, Joshua gets a nice, quick, sniper-like left hook. Daniel Dubois registers that. Daniel Dubois, remember, is programmed like a universal soldier, so he registers that. All right. Okay, big right cross. Big right cross. I didn't even really notice that too much live. But anyway, that happened. Dubois feels it, registers it. How does he respond? Very calmly. Doesn't break his stride. He hops back. And what does he do? What does he do? He does what he's been drilled to do. Yet, especially after the Hrgovic fight. But anyway, he's been drilled to do that before, of course, all his career, no doubt. Okay? Daniel Dubois changes levels because he anticipates that AJ coming over the top. AJ, you will notice, still has his hands down around the nipple. Boom. Another lovely right hook. But, and look where his hands end up. Look where Joshua's hands end up. Joshua's hands, they're not that by the nipple. They're right down now. They're right down. No defense whatsoever. Got his head hanging out like a giraffe. Got his head hanging out like a giraffe. Why throw the uppercut from that distance? He asked for it. And wasn't getting good instructions from his corner because Daniel kept throwing overhands. That was a huge right hand. Rafael, Anthony Joshua got exposed again. I told you he was overrated. Well, you've been telling me he's overrated while he's been winning, brother. While he's been winning. You know what I mean? Link is up there. The link is up there, I believe. Hit the link. The biggest. Well then, firstly, I disagree with that. That's a bit crazy. But yeah, I think the accolade goes to your boy. Goes to your boy from Alabama. You know what we're talking about. You know what we're talking about. Well, I don't think there's any capping going on around here, brother. If you listen to what I'm saying, ain't no capping going on around here. Well, he didn't get knocked out cold. He did get knocked out. He was down. He needed helping up. Ben Davidson ran in and helped him up. That much we know. But this ain't about defending nothing. This is about the analysis. This is about the analysis. This is about the analysis of what went wrong. Why did Anthony Joshua? Why did Joshua look so bad? Question mark. Bad Juju or something else? Bad Juju or something else? But as I was saying, I don't know how Anthony Joshua could have ever thought it was a good idea to have this hand so low. Was that the game plan? I do not believe that Ben Davidson and co had this as their game plan. I don't believe this was the game plan. I believe this is something Joshua did in the heat of the moment, going up against Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois brought this out in him. The irrational approach. OMG. Daniel Dubois comes back with the right cross there. Anthony Joshua gets his hands up late. Now, after that crisp cross, look at that. Looky there. Look at that. Look at that. Look where Joshua's hand is. Look at this. Okay, so I may as well say it now. Anthony Joshua was boxing not like a seasoned vet. I remember back in the days when I was going to college to train as a physical instructor, as a PT, and we went to it was in class. The class went to a fitness exhibition. And they had a piece of equipment there. There's a piece of equipment where you got multiple pads in front of you, stationary piece of equipment, multiple pads on springs, spring loaded, so you didn't break your hand. You're gloved up and you punch the multiple mitts. You could do combinations. And I didn't realize it, but my instructor, the teacher, our tutor, our lecturer, was sitting nearby. I hadn't noticed him. I wasn't paying no mind. I was just trying out this lovely bit of kit, doing some combinations. And then all of a sudden, I heard my lecturer say, technique. I turned around and my lecturer was sitting there with a big, proud smile on his face because he was a ex-kickboxing world champion. And you'd never really seen Rafi on the pads before, on the bag before. And he just sat there with a broad smile. Technique, you know why? Because I wasn't just focused on hitting the target. I was maintaining defensive responsibility. Yeah? You have a responsibility when you're throwing, and even when you're not throwing, to remain defensively responsible. In any situation, at any time, whether you're being watched or you're not watched, it should be an automatic response. Be responsible. But that's not what we saw. That's not what happened. Anthony Joshua here was open. No sign of defense whatsoever. And what's going to happen? Does it take a genius to figure out what's going to happen? As Anthony's throwing, Dubois has other ideas. Now look at the distance Anthony Joshua's right hand is going to have to travel. And look at the distance Daniel Dubois' right hand is going to have to travel. Look at the distances, folks. Joshua's right hand, Dubois' right hand. Joshua's right hand, Dubois' right hand. Let's see the outcome. OMG. OMG. Was that really so hard to predict? It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Yeah, well, I was watching the fight. I thought I would put the fight on the TV so I could have it in the background while I was talking about this topic. The link is in the chat. Remember, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Good breakdown. Good breakdown. OMG. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that. I mean, that's an interesting conversation, isn't it? Well, I never saw Frank Bruno come in with his hands down like that. That's for sure. But I don't know if it means he's better than AJ. I don't know. Here we go. While the championship days are over. PS. AJ looking the same. So maybe they can still fight. Well, I'm going to get onto that. I'm going to get onto what next. But before that, I have to say that what I saw, to me, I have to describe it as kamikaze. That made zero sense. It made zero sense for Joshua to come in with his hands down like that. It made zero sense for him to keep his hands down after he'd been tagged multiple times. It made absolutely zero sense to me. And I find it very difficult to believe that even if a simple man like I would know that even hitting the pads, you have to be defensively responsible. If that is the case, and it is the case, then how the hell can you tell me that a seasoned Olympian wouldn't have the sense to do likewise? It should come automatic. And if you're telling me that don't come automatic to Anthony Joshua, then I find that highly bizarre. Highly bizarre. So I call that kamikaze assault. Because what else can you call it? That's kamikaze. That was kamikaze. The fight started, and looks like AJ was getting a little desperate, so he went for broke. You know what? I think that's exactly what happened. In the corner, I told him to roll the dice. It was only the 5th round, but I tell him, man, to roll the dice. And so was it just AJ who was getting a little desperate? or was it AJ and his corner? How the hell are you going to roll the dice in the 5th round? I think what happened is he got dropped so many times. So they said, yeah, you ain't got your full wits about you. So you might as well just go ahead and try a thing. Go ahead and try a thing because you ain't got your wits about you. It ain't looking good. So go ahead, try and do something. Try and make the magic happen, but that ain't magic. That was a lot of things, but magic was not one of them. And so, yeah, I think desperation stepped in. But even then, before the desperation stepped in, it still doesn't explain why the man went in, why an Olympian went in with his hands down around his navel. It still don't explain that. So I have to ask myself the question, why? I think it was expected. I thought it was going to be a 50-50 fight with AJ edging it with a superior skill. So I thought. I don't know about the speed too much. Maybe AJ had the speed, but what we saw, that didn't bear out. Because what we saw was AJ winding up on shots where Dubois was just letting them go. Dubois was just letting them go, letting his hands go, letting them flow. Letting them flow. And only one of them was flowing, and it wasn't AJ. It was not AJ. I've been a believer in Daniel Dubois for some time now, amongst the sea of non-believers. Have you heard Shane McGuigan's commentary? He said that those instructions were madness. He said that those instructions were madness. I have to step in here for a second, though, and defend Ben Davidson on this singular point. It wasn't Ben Davidson who gave him those instructions to go in and go with the uppercut. It wasn't Ben Davidson, but it was one of Ben Davidson's team who had the authority to speak up in such situations. And once again, it was kamikaze advice from a desperate team to what potentially was a desperate fighter. He'd been dropped, 3 times? He'd been dropped 3 times. Kamikaze. Still doesn't explain why he went in with his hands low from the B of the bang, from the get-go, from the off. Still doesn't explain that. And I think, what do I think? Of course, it's just an opinion. I'll give you my opinion. We thought AJ was going to go out there and press. We thought he was going to be fire with fire because we know Dubois is going to come in and press. So we thought he was going to be fire with fire. I thought AJ would be slick, hands up, slip and move, punch, slip and rip. That's what I thought was going to happen. AJ was going to slip and rip, but the one who was slipping and ripping was Dubois. From the B of the bang, from the get-go, from the off, it was Dubois who was slipping and ripping. And I think that got AJ shook. Yeah, I'll use the word. I think it got AJ shook. Because Daniel Dubois ain't no powder puff puncher. He'll take your effing head off. He will take your effing head off. And Joshua, I believe, started to hold. But nah, that didn't slow down Dubois. And people say, well, Dubois would have slowed down in the 5th and 6th. Well, I'll tell you what. Dubois went the course with Big Belly Miller known for his cardio, even in his fat unassisted self. Even in his fat unassisted self, he's still out-stamina'd. Andreas the Punch Ruiz. So Dubois went the whole 10 rounds and then finished him in the 10th. The guy known for his staying power. So how the hell was it expected that Dubois was going to tire out faster than Anthony Joshua? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Yes, yes, yes. Philip Carl Roberts up in the building. Maybe he felt he was, what? That was his words in the corner. I don't know about that. I don't know what you're talking about, really. I haven't really watched the fight fully back since. I haven't watched it with audio since. Only watched it fully once. Okay. So, made no sense. Maybe AJ got shook. The Dubois just relentlessness. Because like I say, you get the heavyweight division, the top 10, the top 20, and just randomly start throwing people in together without no matchmaking. Just randomly throwing in together, two at a time. I think Dubois does very well without film. Just get in there and hit him. That's what Dubois did. And that's what AJ did not do. I think AJ, hey, listen, it's no crime. It ain't no crime. But I think AJ got weary. Not wary, weary, or maybe wary from the off. And that, in some part, accounted for his inexplicable choice to fight with his hands down, to fight with his hands down against a man who you should not be fighting with your hands down. It made no sense. I find it difficult to believe that was the game plan. I don't believe that was the game plan. So why did his corner not correct him? He got dropped in the first round, and maybe that threw everybody in a panic. I can't remember what Ben Davidson, I don't know if I've heard it said to him from the first to the second round, but that would have been, I don't know what he said. I don't know if he told him to get his hands up and keep his hands up. I don't know. But that's what he should have done. He should have been using the jab. But it's in this fight, it was Dubois with the superior jab. It was Dubois with the superior everything. Let's face it. So why? Was he shook? Was the Juju real? Was the Juju? Did I say Juju? Was the Juju real? Listen, I'm saying put aside the Juju. Forget about the Juju. Think about the logic. Think about the reality of AJ, a seasoned Olympian going in there with his hands down. To me, and I mean no disrespect about this, but to me, I think the way Daniel Dubois came out, it had AJ a little bit short. You seen what Daniel Dubois has been doing to people, and I think he had AJ a little bit short. No shame in it. That's just reality. Dubois was nothing special in that fight. Yes, I said. Oh, come on, man. Are you being serious? Dubois was a wrecking ball, in my humble opinion. Dubois was a wrecking ball in that fight. Absolute wrecking ball. He wanted to establish himself and show. He said it throughout. Who do you think you are? That's what he said to Joshua. Who do you think you are? Daniel Dubois believed all the way through that he had the measure of Joshua. And Joshua's demeanor was not that of the caged animal that we saw from Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois was like a wild beast on a chain. He was saying, let me go, let me at him. When they took him off, when they let him go, he went right at him, mate. Was Anthony Joshua a little bit shook? AJ was a joke. We haven't got the time to go through the Oh my gosh. Why did I just hear that sound? Does it mean somebody's waiting? I don't know. I don't think so. I still think AJ can bounce back from this. Okay. Well, to close that part, that section, we can go into another section now. But to close that section, what I'll say is I think AJ was shook at Dubois. The way Dubois came out like a mad bull. I think he got AJ shook to an extent. No shame in it. He's not the first person who got shook. He's not the first fighter who got shook at the relentless advance of a dangerous opponent, and he won't be the last. But of the top heavyweights in recent history, I mean, don't get it twisted. There have been top heavyweights who have been stopped in the first round, the first or the second round. It's happened. I remember Dokes. Was it Michael Dokes? He was a notorious slow starter. And was it Weaver, Mike Weaver, who took out Dokes in one round? Just walked across the ring, stormed across the ring, and just let a barrage go and took out the very, very capable Dokes in one round. Was it Mike Weaver who took out Dokes in one round? It's happened. It's happened. Top fighters who got stopped in one round. It has happened. You know what I mean? So let's acknowledge that's the heavyweight division. It has happened, but it hasn't happened in recent history, to the best of my memory. So, you know, that's a factor too. That's a factor too. What's going on? I heard several people refer to Dubois as a throwback fighter. Kind of makes sense that the aggression would break AJ. AJ didn't do too well against the wild slugging of Ruiz. Well, similar punch selection. Similar punch selection. They're both hookers. They both like the hooks. Dubois does mix it up very, very well. Maybe now he'll start to get his credit after people wrote him off against the Joe Joyce fight. I didn't wrote him off. I remained strong. And I remained a strong fan of Dubois. I remained a believer. And this Dubois is the Dubois that I expected to see. I expected him to develop into. Even when he took a knee against Joe Joyce. This is the Dubois I expected him to develop into. So I didn't lose faith. And he's come through with flying colors. I'm a fan of both of these cats, fortunately for me. So I didn't lose. Remember, Lennox Lewis got knocked out too and came back and won the rematch. Lennox Lewis got knocked out, that's for sure. But Lennox Lewis got knocked out due to the high altitude. Was fighting in South Africa. How much miles above sea level? High altitude. Joshua didn't do high altitude training, I don't believe. And then he didn't. And then he flew out to South Africa. Yeah, South Africa. That's too short a notice. We should have been there from 6 weeks out to adjust to the high altitude, or he should have just flown out, give himself like 2 weeks, according to the science that I've read on training for altitude. But Joshua threw out, but Lennox flew out 3 weeks out. So he was there for too short of a time to adapt to the altitude, but too long to not let the altitude affect him. It'd have been better 6 weeks out or 2 weeks out. He went week 3. He didn't have scientists in the corner. When I say scientists, I'm not talking about the Juju. So that was slightly different. And Lennox went down because of altitude, not because he just had some crazy new fight style where he's going to keep his hands low against a big banger. Makes no sense. And I think it was because he got shook. And was he even shook before the fight? And that's no disgrace. If there's a mad bull in front of you, you're probably supposed to get shook to an extent. And maybe he couldn't get over being shook because at the end of that round, he got pretty much damn near almost knocked out. AJ's been on the decline for years, says Cristiano Wu. Still got some good fights against the lesser of the Fury-Usyk match. Or the third match with Andy Ruiz. The third match with Andy Ruiz, that's not a big match. I'll tell you what's a big match. A big match is Deontay Wilder. That's a fight that people have wanted to see for years. And I think now is the time. That should be the next fight. Now is the time for Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Now is the time. If Anthony Joshua wants to carry on. There's no way in hell that I see him hanging him up on a performance like this, where all the fundamentals went out the window. How the hell could you have the fundamentals go out the window? It makes no sense to me. I don't understand. Well, you wrote that twice. Boy's done his job. I'll give him that. But let's not gas him up. Well, listen, I'm a big fan of the boy. I'm a big fan of the boy. You know, I have been for some time. I didn't jump ship when he took a knee. So I'm a believer. I like his style. He goes out there, goes after everybody. Look, went in there with Dubois and he went after him. Went in there, with what do you call him? Usyk. Went in there with Usyk and he went after him, mate. And some people like myself thought the punch was legit. In which case, Daniel Dubois would have been unified champion, I believe, at that point. So, yeah, I like Daniel Dubois. I like his style. Who else? Who's got a more exciting style? Who's got a more gung-ho style? Who's got a more go forward and try and rip the guy's head off style than Daniel Dubois right about now in the higher echelon of the heavyweight boxing division? Who? If not Daniel, who? Wilder AJ at this point would be like Khan Brook, hardly satisfying. That was, hey, I love that fight. We waited for years for that fight. And when we finally got it, I thought, it's too late. But I tell you what, mate, I tuned into that fight. And I don't really watch fights over too often, but I've watched that fight several times because it was long overdue. And put in a damn good performance. Hell of a performance, certainly by Brook. I thought the punch was legit. I thought it was legit. Borderline, yes, but legit. If that was anybody else other than Usyk, I don't think there would have been any complaints. I think the ref would have just counted him out and waved the fight off for a Dubois victory. That's just my opinion. I wonder how Dubois would handle Zhang. Well, who's next for Dubois? It's got to be either Well, he's already fought Usyk. Does he fight Usyk again? The second fight? Yeah. Hell yeah. Why not? That's all the belts again. Usyk can be unified again. Or Daniel Dubois can become unified. So yeah, that's got to be the fight. It's got to be the winner between Usyk and Tyson Fury. I think Usyk wins it. So it's Usyk, but if Tyson Fury wins it, then it's Tyson Fury. But if Usyk goes a different direction, then, you know, Tyson Fury can get a belt back. Hell yeah. So who's next for Usyk? I think it's Daniel Dubois. If Usyk wins. If Fury wins, then he's next. Fury v. Dubois. That's how I see that play now. Yeah, White v. Dubois, that would be a hell of a fight. But yeah, he's rusty. White is rusty. Hella rusty. But yeah, so that's the one for Dubois, Usyk or Fury. For Joshua, I say it's, to me, the clear candidate, number one candidate. That should be Deontay Wilder, since he doesn't want to quit yet. It'll look bad. If Joshua fought him having not taken this loss, this battering. But having taken this battering, then hell yes. Let's see it. Let us see it. What are we saying? What else are we saying? I'm not going to share the screen anymore. No. I think we've done it. Let's share the screen enough. We see him with his hands down. Chop that up. See him continue to proceed forward with his hands down. Boom. Nice left hook. But the Dubois moving away from it. Very well schooled by Don Charles. No dark arts. Joshua comes down, drops his hand, comes over, and is wide open. Wide open. Daniel Dubois knows what he wants to do now. Changes levels, comes up, eats a right. But immediately fires back. Immediately. Joshua pauses only for a second. And then makes, can't even call it a mistake. It seems just totally kamikaze. Totally kamikaze. Decides to come up with an uppercut. Look at the distance. He's got no protection on the left-hand side, on his left-hand side. And look at the distance that the boy has to travel. Just like popping next door. Just like popping next door. Boom. Absolutely outrageous. What about Parker? Well, Parker should be looking for somebody who won a fight rather than somebody who's just lost a fight. I think Parker is deserving of a title match as much as Dubois. How the hell is Parker deserving of a title fight more than Dubois? He beat Wilder, yeah. Cool. And then he beat Zhang. Zhang, who disgraced himself once again going into a fight in poor condition. Dropped Parker a couple of times and then did nothing after that. Didn't have the gas tank. I think Parker's looking at the rematch. I think there's a rematch clause with Zhang, but anybody who's a follower of the channel will know that I believe that Zhang has a long-standing injury which prevents him from training to gain optimal cardio. Be it an ankle, be it a knee, be it a hip. I think there's something preventing him training for optimal cardio performance. And so looks like a rematch there. Or yeah, give Parker a fight against somebody who's just won. Sure. Boom. Boom. That's all she wrote. Okay. Stop sharing that. Stop sharing that. Okay. Where we at? So my conclusion is AJ got shook by the marauding Daniel Dubois. How AJ forgot his fundamentals for that fight is astounding. How can you be grounded in an art form, and then on one of the biggest nights of your career, selling out Wembley for a record number of, 96,000 people, 98,000 people, and then forgetting your fundamentals. Zhang, a hell of a puncher. Zhang is the biggest puncher, could be the biggest puncher in the division. Could well be. Dropped Parker twice, but ran out of steam, as he often does. So yeah, how are you going to forget your fundamentals on one of the biggest nights of your career? It don't add up. It don't make sense. All I can think of is maybe he got shook. Maybe man's got shook. That's my best guess. That's my best analysis. Man's got shook. That's what it boils down to. That's what it boils down to. And so, yeah, AJ, the path for AJ, I see AJ with 3 more fights. 3 more fights for AJ. I think the link is still there. 3 more fights for AJ. If there's anybody want to come in, you got to come in now. Literally now. Because, like I said, we're here for a good time, not a long time. What time is it now? Yo, hey, kind of bedtime. Coming up to bedtime. Coming up to Ovaltine time. Coming up to bedtime story time. Bedtime story for you. So, next for Anthony Joshua, 3 fights. I see 3 fights for Anthony Joshua. Having no time to set himself. 3 fights for Anthony Joshua. What does it say? Wilder v. AJ would be interesting, I guess. Wilder at 39 would be weaker than ever. AJ at 35 would be, what? More fragile than ever? They would be each other's weakness. They would shatter each other. Cristiano Wu coming out with some poetry there, I assume. Oh, boy. Yeah. He had no time to set himself. Yeah. 3 fights for Anthony Joshua is 1. See my thumb? Where's my thumb? 1. Deontay Wilder. 2. Tyson Fury. 3. Is there a 3? Is there a need for a 3? Bear in mind, I think Tyson Fury is going to lose to Usyk. That's why I'm saying Tyson Fury. And if he beats Tyson Fury, then boom, Usyk won last time. There you have it. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. And if he gets through Fury, then he goes on to Usyk or whoever the unified champion is. If he fails, to get past Fury. I mean, yeah, Fury, then, yeah, you can hang him up then. 3 fights. 3 fights. Yeah, get that man a heavy overcoat. Get that man a heavy overcoat. Yeah, that's how I see it. I think he has to run back the Dubois fight for me. No way, no how. Then Fury and White. Well, I got no interest in seeing him fight White. I got no interest in seeing him try and run it back with Dubois because honestly, that was horrible. That was horrible to watch. It was great to watch actually. Horrible for Joshua. I don't think he needs Dubois right now. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and hey, if Dubois beats Usyk, then fine. Maybe he can go out on a Dubois fight again. But for me, I'd say stay away from that boy. Stay away from Daniel Dubois. AJ's 3 matches: Wilder, Ruiz, John Jones. Nah. Wilder, yes. Ruiz, nothing special. Fury, Wilder, Fury, and Fighter X at the end of that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay, folks? I think I said everything I wanted to say. Yeah. That's the recipe. Wilder, Fury, then get the hell out of Dodge or fight whoever the unified champion is after that, be it Usyk or Daniel Dubois. And people, let's put some respect on Dubois' name. There's a lot of disrespect coming from people prior to this. I think he's muted a lot of his critics. Is he flawless? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But one thing I give the guy credit for is he comes to fight. He comes to fight, mate. He comes to fight. And that's always been the case. And yeah, I have to give out commiserations to Anthony Joshua and a big, big salute to Daniel Dynamite Dubois. Okay, H-Money, the link was there. You had the chance to come in. The link was there. You had a chance to come in, but you didn't do it, my friend. So it's been wrapped up. It's been wrapped up. We've done it. It's the original wrap-up show. Don't be tricked. Oh, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you, bro. No problem. But thanks for stopping by. Thanks to everybody for stopping by. Like, share, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend, to tell a friend. Mr. Raphael Dawkins, check out the videos. For Combat Radio, like, subscribe, comment, share, and I'm out. Bless it.